Hello everyone, this is Greg from Mystery Honey. Today I'm going to be doing just normal autumn inspections, so hopefully it's going to be nice and easy. The honey has been taken off, it's all been spun. Those supers that you see behind me are all empty, just a bit sticky tacky, so I'm going to stick them on some hives to get them cleaned up later on. The main things that we need to focus on when it comes to autumn is feeding and varroa treatments. So varroa treatments come in all shapes and sizes. We have oxalic versions of it, so you can do a oxalic vape. You can use Formic Pro, like I'm going to be using this year. You can use Apivar, Apistan, Apiguard, all the Appies. So there's lots of them around, and they're all pretty effective. Now with feeding, what we need to do is make sure there's enough frames of food in there for now. So probably about this time of year, straight after the honey pull, I'm expecting at least 2 full frames to a full super, somewhere around there, depending on how much honey that they stored themselves and how much food that they need. So I would say that a decent sized colony in a hive would need a full super to last through winter. A nuke would probably do with an extra nuke box on top. That's be best for them. Now you can overwinter nukes on a single story, so with just 6 frames. You are kind of forcing them to stay small over winter, but a lot of them can make it through. Nukes are the most efficient way of getting any sort of colony through winter. So today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing the first bit, which is making sure all of my colonies are queen right. So you need to make sure all colonies are queen right before winter. Otherwise, if you're sending them through winter without a queen, they're going to die. So any sort of effort or anything like that that you do on them until the queen right is a waste. So today's job is to go around, check for queens, make sure they're all there. If I can see them, I'm going to mark them. If not, I know that they're there, and I'm going to put a tick on the box to say queen right. This time of year, the bees like to supersede their queen. So if your queen is a year or 2 old, you may see maybe 1 or 2 cells that spring up. These are supersedure cells. Generally, supersedure cells can be anywhere in the hive. They mostly could just come out with 1 or 2, and they're usually in a super or above the normal brood area, just because they like to hide the queens from the other queen. So I'm going to be checking for supersedure cells, and if there are some, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to let them emerge. I'm going to knock them all down apart from 1 and let that one emerge. It is rare for bees to swarm at this point. You do get some swarms if the colony is massive and the other swarm triggers have gone off. Generally, you can tell the difference between a swarm cell and supersedure cell, because swarm cells, there's loads of them. There's like at least 10 or something along those lines. Supersedure cells, like 1 or 2. So keep your eye out for that at this time of year. Now, what I would normally be doing is putting my varroa treatments on now and starting feeding now. But because I'm going to be doing some movements of colonies from one of my apiaries at some point in the next week or so, I don't really want to be putting any more stress on those bees than they're already going to be getting just from being moved. So that means I'm not going to be doing my varroa treatments right now. It means that I'm going to have to wait for a few weeks before I can put them on. But it should still work out. Just because I'm using Formic Pro and that only takes 2 weeks, that should be enough time left over of the warm period before it starts getting cold in October. Anyway, that's my plan for today. Go in, check for food, make sure they've got a few frames, and check for queen rightness. Just to go back onto the food for a second, you don't want the hive to be full of food right now. Now is the time that the bees are making winter bees to survive through the winter. These bees are considerably larger than normal bees, and they're stronger, they've got more fat, they're pretty beastie. And these guys are the ones that are going to keep the colony going all the way through winter. These are the ones that are going to be eating all the winter food. These are the ones that are going to be protecting the queen throughout winter. And yeah, you want to make sure that there's enough space to produce as many of these bees as possible on a large cluster going into winter, because they will start dying pretty much immediately as soon as it gets to winter, and they'll just keep dropping. The more the more likely that the colony is to survive. So with that being said, I'm going to get my suit on, I'm going to get the smoker lit, and I'm going to get cracking. So it's that time of year where I start collecting all of the brace comb that I've left in the sacrificial area. This stuff is going to now be just a bit melted down and turned into candles. Again, oops. The problem with having the pallet as a floor here is that when the birds etc come to have a little nibble, they fling the wax underneath the floorboards, so it's kind of hard to get all of it, but that's, you can only get what you can get. Just throw this in. If you do get some detritus in there, like some of these plastic queen cups etc, don't worry about it. The wax will separate quite easily and quite nicely. So this is a frame that broke, so I'm just going to pull it off the wire. It's been cleaned out by the bees. Pull it off the wire, and then this frame can be burned and then disposed of. As you can see, this is a 5-litre bucket, and already it's starting to look quite full. But all of the honey that was in this comb has now gone into the bees again, and it is ready and raring to be recycled, as you can see. Good. I've got a few more places where I store this comb, but so I think I'm going to end up having a bucket out of it. Now with that, I reckon only about that much is probably wax. The rest of it's just going to be dirt and guff. So yeah, thought I'd let you guys see anyway. As I said in the introduction, the main aim of this is to make sure that each of these hives and colonies are queen right, and they've got food. So I'm just noticing that there's not many bees flying into the entrance, so this could end up being a dead hive. We'll have to see. Where's my smoker, just in case? Okay. So there's bees in here. This top box is completely unused. It's full of foundation. The bees aren't going to use it, so especially at this time of year, they're definitely not going to expand into this. So I'm going to take it off and shake any bees that are in it out. Right, so now I've opened it up, I'm seeing some bees. That's good. Let's get rid of this brace comb. Move on for the bucket. Right, let's have a look. So I've already found the queen. So there she is, walking around. See that? Walking around there, so there she is. And they've already collected quite a lot of honey for this frame. So let's pick her up and mark her. She looks pretty buckfasty. I've explained what they look like. They are mostly tan with a little black dot on the bottom. Oh, this one's pesky. It's a little wily. She doesn't want to walk up the tube, which is how I usually collect them. Come on. Up we go. There we go. Right, I've got her. Okay, into the marking cage. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep her in the marking cage while I just have a quick check, because there could be a few things that could happen with her. She could either be a virgin queen, but she's quite plumpish, so it doesn't look that way. If that's the case, then I need to put her back. Or she could be a drone-laying queen. Again, you don't want a drone-laying queen going into winter, because there's no way that the bees will survive. So I'm just going to mark her. This year's colour. There we go. Nice and marked. Release her, and she's going to run around and dry up a little bit. I'll bring her close to you so you can have a look at her. There she is, walking about. You can see the tan colour on her back with a little black dip. That's the queen. Right, so I'm going to just leave her to dry off, just over here on the other hive. I'm going to have an investigation of this colony. So this side is completely empty, but this side has a lot of food on it. That's okay. I've just realised, well, I just remembered why she's a buckfast colour. It's because her mum was one of the imported queens that died when I moved this colony over here. Lovely brood there. Lovely brood. Move these out of the way, push out of the way. If you look there, yeah, all capped, all healthy, lovely. On the other side as well, I would probably say that she's actually got a better laying pattern than her mother, which is good. The bees look healthy. I've not seen any deformed wings or anything like that. No varroa. Yeah, I'm quite happy with these guys. We've got some ghost bees, which I've shown you before. I'll see if I can zoom in, but you guys are quite far away, so I don't know if the zoom will work very well. But right here, you see ghost bees. That's from Himalayan balsam. But she's laying up really well. Nice, healthy cells. That's good. Oop. Yeah, that's a full frame of brood as well. So all this brood will come out and will be winter bees. So these guys will be the ones that will be surviving all the way through winter. So it's good that she's laying up the majority of this. And I don't know if you noticed, but the brood is here, but there's still food around the top of them there. So I don't do intensive feeding until October. Because I want to give the bees as much time to create winter bees as possible. Look at that, all full there. Brilliant. Yeah, all full there. This queen's doing amazing. And I've just remembered I've lost my torch. Amazing. So I want when I'm looking for queens. Ugh. So they're doing nothing with these outside frames here. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put them in between the brood. It's a bit of a silly thing to do, but I want them to use this comb. This frame here is full of brood. So if I put this in here, then it means that the queen's got some more space to lay. The colony is big enough that I don't think the extra... I don't think that the brood is going to chill on the outside. I think the bees are going to be able to look after them. So food's on that side, granted, but on there is just empty. So yeah, I'm going to put that in the inner frames. And then we've got some more cells for the queen to lay in. Right, Queenie, you've done a good job. I'm going to release you. You're okay. There we go. And off she goes. Right. So that is good. I'm going to just leave him to it. Wax moth. So I've just found a wax moth running around. Still in my hand. Now, wax moths are a bloody nightmare when it comes to brood comb. They will just ruin it. So it's not them themselves, it's the larvae that they produce. Yeah, horrible. Right, that's that one now. It's got food, it's got brood, and it's got a queen that's laying, which is perfect. So that is a-okay for now. Now, my memory is a bloody nightmare. I cannot remember for the life of me why I've left this one on 3 boxes. So it's got 2 brood and 1 super. So I'll have a quick look and see what's going on there. If I need to shake them out of the super, then so be it. But I always like to let my bees overwinter on 2 boxes. So either a brood and a super or 2 broods. So the extra super on here is unnecessary for me. Bees that are on top. So this is just a empty super from the looks of it. I think there's some nectar coming in, but it's not a lot. Yeah, so there's some nectar, a bit of honey being stored, but these bees are not really trying with this. So I'm going to shake the bees out of this into the brood box. Again, at this time of year, you don't really want to be giving them more space. You want to be taking that space away, because these guys are going to start dying off. The amount of bees that are in this colony are going to be shrinking. So it means that the bees will have more space to contend with fewer bees. So what we want to do is we want to make them nice and clustered, nice and full, which is the opposite of what you want throughout the year, because doing that throughout the year means that they want to swarm. But this time of year, they are dying off. The bees know that, so they are in winter building mode. So they are trying to prepare for winter by storing some nectar and producing bees. Yeah, so there's not actually a lot of bees in this super. Right, this one. Push. Right. So let's tap this off. Tap. And then there we are. Got rid of that one. Let's build it up quick. Again, what we're looking for is food, and we're looking for brood. Eggs particularly, because we want to make sure... In fact, we'll go to the bottom box first. So I can already tell I've got a lot of food because this top box is very heavy. So these guys probably won't need feeding, which is good. Saves me money. So there's still drones in this colony, so that means that the bees haven't got to full winter mode yet. So when the bees get to full winter mode, they will start to kick the drones out. The drones serve no purpose over winter, sadly. I'm just going to have to walk over here and make sure I can see eggs. Can't see any eggs there. Can't see any eggs there either. Now this is the bottom box, so chances are that the bees are actually, well, the queen bee is in the top box. So I'm not too worried yet. Get away. These bees for some reason like to fly between my fingers, which is not nice. Come on. So there's some cat brood already, so that's good. Also got some bees trying to sting me. Go away. Let's have a quick look for the queen. Can't see the queen on the other. It's the pretense of light. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm seeing eggs. Yeah, so there's definitely eggs on here. There's definitely a queen in here. We'll see if we can find some frames of brood, just to check. So what we want to see is some capped brood, and we want to see capped worker brood. I want to see it all nice and healthy, so I've got to smoke these bees down because they're a bit touchy. Bees can get particularly tetchy at this time of year because you've taken all the honey off, and to them the honey is their lifeline for winter. So right here we have a frame full of capped brood. It's not a particularly great laying pattern. This is a relatively new queen because the queen died by accident. I'm just going to get rid of these bees that seem to be affecting you. So this is a relatively new queen, so it could just be that she's just trying to work it out. She's laying okay though. It's something I'm going to pay attention to. Go away. And these bees are definitely more touchy than I would like. But again, it could just be that it's close to winter and I've literally just taken a big box of honey off them. I'm going to put it back in a second, guys. Come on. Right. I'm also wanting to have a look and see if I can find any larvae, like large larvae, just so I can have a look and see what they look like. Yes, this is full of eggs. And it's got lots of larvae. So there's eggs all around here, some lovely larvae there, lovely and big. They're actually capping it now. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with that. So next, found some queen cups. I'm going to have a quick look at them. Get these bees off me. They're empty, it's fine. Right, so I'm going to put this back. The queen's doing okay. Probably have to, yeah. That was a stupid idea. Get off. Wow, replace the brood box that has all the honey in, because this is so heavy. We'll have a quick look and see what it looks like. My guess is that they're getting the nectar and pollen from ivy at the moment. That seems to be the most prominent plant so far. But this is really, they're doing a great job with the propolis. This is really stuck down. Come on, there we go. So that's a lovely frame of food that side. They've not capped it yet, but that is definitely honey. It's just from the weight of it. Same this side. My thoughts are that the majority of this. Let's make it that way a bit more. Don't know if you were seeing that, but my hive tool was bending then, just from the immense strain that was on this. Right, let's have a look. Some cat brood in the middle there, but it is full of food. Lots of new bees, I can see. Lots of fluffy new bees. Yeah. So this queen's doing fine. I'm going to close her up. I don't think that she'll need feeding. Something you should do at this time of year, just because you're going in and you're aware of how much food the colony has, count how many frames they have, and then heft it. So you want to get in your mind how heavy a colony is when it's got a certain amount of food. When it's full of food like this one, you want to know how many fingers it takes to lift. I'll do a video of this close to winter probably on how to do it. You want to see how many fingers it takes to lift this colony. So this is taking 4 fingers, and that is like with a bit of wrist action as well. So that is a heavy colony. So I think that is set for winter. Don't have to worry about that one at all. Bro. Queen right, healthy brood, all seems well. All I need to do is give them a varroa treatment at some point during this next few weeks, and all should be hunky-dory for this one. So I think these 2 colonies are doing great. Let's go on to the next ones. So this is the stingy colony, the one that a few people messaged me saying that they liked me to handle for some unknown reason. Sadists, maybe, I don't know. But we found that the queen had died, or had gone. I think it's more likely that she'd died because the colony was still huge. She was cracking on a bit. So I found some queen cells. I knocked all but 1 down. And then I left them to it to produce a new queen. Now this top box here, this top super, is full of honey from spring, I think, actually, because I used a Formic Pro treatment on it, and they filled this while the Formic Pro was on. So I can't use this to create honey for you guys. So it's perfect for them, though, because it's a full super of honey, and it's jam-packed with honey. Oh. So it means that they should be sorted for food for winter. So what I want to do now is I want to make sure that the queen that emerged and flown off has come back and is now mating well, because it's been a few weeks since then. They're not really doing anything with this super. I gave it to them because they were still such a big colony. I was a bit scared that they'd swarm, but they're not doing anything with it, and they've not even... well, I guess they have actually cleaned it up, but they're not actually drawing it out or anything like that, so I'm going to get rid of it. Again, I always try and stick to 1 or 2 boxes for winter. The larger the space, the harder it is for the bees to keep it warm. Some of these frames are naff. I'll have to end up in the tip, unfortunately. Right, so you can't really see it, but there's no bees on these outer frames here. That's because the box was too high. There was too much space for the bees to deal with. So in removing that super, it means that the bees can now cluster a bit more effectively. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to break this apart. So it's got a bit of food on. That outer frame's got pollen, some food on it as well. Okay, so these guys are sorted for food. We don't have to worry about them for food either. We just need to make sure that they've got a queen that's laying and is happy. So that's full of food as well. Ugh. Sun's kind of just come out, so that's good. Food again. I'm a bit worried that these guys might just be 100% food. And if that's the case, what I've got to do is add one of my nukes that has a queen on it. So I'm looking for eggs. I can't see any eggs yet. Lots of food though. Right, so we have some cat brood. Yeah, so we have eggs. We have some eggs. And we have some worker brood here. We've got some drone brood here, which isn't great, but sometimes the queens just want to try out the new superpower. So have a quick look at the other frames. You can see the queen will pick her up and mark her, but I'm not really looking for her, I'm just looking for eggs, really. There were eggs then. I did see some eggs, so the job has been done. I could click it close if I want to. I just want to see this laying pattern because I'm not super happy with it. And the fact that there's so many drone cells randomly as well. There's still a lot of worker brood coming through. So it is doing its job. Just isn't the pattern that I was hoping for. Saying that though, when the queen died in this one, the bees just started filling the brood box full of nectar. So the queen could possibly have just been laying where there was some space. She's trying to get to the stage where she is pushing those bees and that nectar out. Okay, nearly there. 3 more frames and I'll close them up. But the... Ugh. Yeah, it's okay. It's not great though. I'm not happy with that brood pattern. I've just seen a queen cup. I don't know if it's a queen cell there. Oh, look now. I'm just seeing if I can see the queen first. Okay, let's have a look. Out of the way. Are you a queen cup? Yeah, it's just a queen cup. So let's see. So now is the latest possible time to get those queens out and mated. So if you're going to do any queen rearing, this is the last month you can do it really, because as soon as it hits October, all the drones are removed. Drones are killed, and then the queen cannot get mated again. So the reason I say it's this month is because it takes about 3 weeks from grafting, maybe 4 weeks sometimes, for the queen to get mated from an egg, for the queen to get mated and start laying. So you really want to do your splits now if you're going to do them. Final frame. Yep, I haven't got a clue where the queen is, but it looks like she's doing crap, to be fair. If I'd have found her, I would have swapped her out with one of my queens from one of my nukes over there. Unfortunately, I couldn't find her, so I just have to deal with it, sadly. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to give her some more frames and put them in the centre. Spread this out a bit. And then hopefully she'll have more space to lay that isn't having to be fought against with nectar. So I'm just going to push that in. There you are. Right, so that's hopefully spreading them out enough. These 3 frames here are empty, so I'm just going to put a dot on them. So when we come back next week, we can see if the queen has laid in them or not. If she hasn't, then we have an issue. If she has, then that's great. Right. I'll put the super back on. Go on to the next ones. I'm hoping today will be nice and quick. We'll see. Oh, right. I'm going to get rid of this lid. This roof has lasted me for a few years now, but the plastic covering that was on it has broken up in the sun, and it's beech plywood. So beech plywood is really good for dealing with winter and water and stuff like that. As you can see, it's not had a cover on for a couple of years now, and yeah, sure, it's gone a bit green, but it's still solid. It's not split along the edge like normal plywood does, and it's a bit mouldy on the inside because of the humidity, but it's not actually started splitting or breaking away or anything like that, scraping away. So yeah, it's done a really good job. I'm going to take it away, and during winter I'm going to refurb this with another cover. But until then, I'm going to give it a new roof. So this is a Swienti hive roof. The reason why I've bought these is because they're quite versatile. Now they are... they're supposed to fit on top B-space hives. So if you look at that, the frames are flush with the top of the box there. That means that this is designed to just sit straight onto the box. With that being the case, it means that there's no bee space. It means that the bees will propolize it and stick it down. So that's why I've had to put this crown board in, just to break it up a bit. But these are really good. They can be used as floors as well as roofs, and you can stack them on top of each other and have multiple colonies. So it's really cool. I really like them. I highly recommend these if you are looking for a roof/floor solution. Anyway, the only issue I have with them, not only because they sit flush, you need to have some crown boards. There is no entrance block, so you can't put anything in there to block it out. So I have to use like foam or something to shove it in. But it's not too much of an issue. Right, on to the next ones. Alright, hopefully I can burn through these as quick as I can. Whew. So I've had to do a new queen run. These were put in on the 20th of August, so about 10 days ago, something like that. So they'll have all emerged. Hopefully they'll have got out and got mated. But it has been absolutely dreadful weather recently, so my guess is probably not. Now, nukes are the best method of getting bees through winter. If you have a small colony in a hive, it's best to switch them into a nuke box if you can. Right, so yeah, I'll start with the bottom box. This colony is doing quite well, actually. Let's put you across. Sounds like it's starting to rain. Right. Let's have a look. Looking for eggs. Can't see any eggs yet. And that's the dead center frame. In the bottom box. Maybe I can see eggs. This is why you need a torch. Right, have a quick glance to see if you can see the queen. Can't see the queen. Can't see the queen. I'm just going to do a little shake. See if I can lighten the load and see if I can see the eggs easier if there are any. No egg on that side. No eggs on that side. So I'm not too worried about this because it's only been 10 days since I put them in. What's the date today? It's 1st September? What's the date today? So it's only been like 12-ish days since I put them in, so I'm not too worried about them not laying yet. I'll be worried next week. For now, I'm just checking, seeing where they're up to. Okay, so I'll have a look in the top box, but I don't think the queen has started to lay yet. Hunky back in. So have a quick look at the top box. Well, this has probably got just honey in it, really. It doesn't feel super heavy though, so I think this may need feeding when it comes to winter. Right, so I'm breaking them apart because I'm trying to find one that's easy to get out without causing damage. They've stuck all the frames together with wax here. So, let's have a quick look. This is full of food. Also full of food. Leave that there. Oh, watch out. Right, now I'll just break it apart. Let's have a look. This is full of food as well. No eggs yet. This is really heavy. Still no eggs. Yeah. So I think that this queen is still out getting mated, so I'm not going to worry about her. Just close her up nice and easy. It happens. Give her another week and we'll see what happens after that. If she's not back in that week, then things are getting a bit more fraught, but we'll see. See what happens. Right, let's have a look at this one. So this colony here, there's so many bees coming out of it. God knows what's going on with that one. Right. So this colony is not very big at all. Again, it had a queen put into it. She should have emerged. So we've got some frames of foundation here that are probably slowing things down for them a little bit. Let's see if I can swap them out with a comb. So what we're looking for is eggs, which should be on this frame. But there are none, no eggs. It's okay. No eggs. They've got a fair amount of food though, so they're okay for food at the moment. They've got 1, 2, 3 frames for food, so I don't have to worry about food yet. Now, when it comes to queens, when you have virgin queens coming back and starting to lay, you don't really want to do any varroa treatments when it's like that, because what can happen is, before the bees get used to her, if you start putting extra smells in there to confuse the bees, they may just decide to off the queen unceremoniously. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to move that aside. They're working on that one, that's fine. Move that there. And I'm going to swap this frame of foundation out for some drawn comb. Now that my honey pull has been done, I can do that. So the extra honey in this frame, because it's drained but it's not dry, so the bees will latch onto that and they'll start eating that up, and it should give them a little boost as well. That's good. Right, so still no queen there. Let's keep going. Again, this colony is not very big at all. So these 2 colonies here, when the queen does arrive, they're going to struggle through winter, I think. So what I might have to do is I might have to pilfer some frames of brood from another colony and pop them in. Now I'm not going to do that until the queen has started laying, because sorry, just bear with me. Yeah, so I'm not going to do that until the queen starts laying. Because what I want to do is make sure that there is a queen, because there's no point in weakening another colony, a strong colony, to help out a smaller one if the smaller one has no chance at all of surviving. So I want to make sure that there's a laying queen in there that's healthy, everyone's healthy, got enough food, and then you can start giving them extra bees. Oh, there's the queen. So I found the virgin queen running about right here. She's definitely a virgin. She's tiny. Yeah, so I'm going to put that back very carefully. She's definitely in there. I've seen her. She's definitely a virgin queen. So I think, judging from that, these are the nukes that I've put queens in. I don't think any of them are going to be in a state where they're going to be producing brood. So I'm just going to close this up, and I'm not going to even bother looking at this one. Ow. Thank you. Right in the wrist. So yeah, so I've seen the queen in that one. She's running around. She's definitely a virgin. So I think all these other nukes that I've got queens in emerging, I don't think they're going to go anywhere. Right. I'm going to go have a look at this big one, see if I can knock it down. But judging from the size or the amount of bees that are coming out of the entrance here, I don't think that I can take any boxes off. We'll see. I thought I'd just quickly show you what I meant. There's so many bees flying in and out. Something's got them excited. I'm looking around. They're not attacking any other hives. Usually when you see something like this, it means that there's a hive that they're robbing out, but none of the colonies seems to be getting robbed out. So I think that maybe there's like there might be something else in the woods somewhere. I wonder if I can see. So there might be a wild colony that is weak and they are just taking advantage of them. But as for my colonies here, the rest of them seem to be okay. So I'm going to have to put you on that side, because there's no way I'm standing in front of that entrance with all those bees flying around. I don't know if you can see or what you can see, but we'll see. Oh, so this one. So the roof is full of comb. I'm not going to bother with that. Usually I take it off just so it causes less mess. But I think if these guys can get enough honey and stuff like that, then I don't need to feed them. So I'm not too worried about that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to check this first. Just go down quickly, have a look at the boxes and see what they're like food-wise. If there's no food in a box, I'm just going to take it off. So they're cleaning this box up, and they are filling it with food. So they are filling it with food, okay. And they are in each seam. Tell you what, I'm going to move this to the other side. That way. So you can see a bit better. So that is very heavy on one side. So there's at least 2 or 3 frames on that side that are very heavy with honey. So have a look at this one. I'll tell you what, I won't touch that one because the people are mourning. Yeah. So have a look. And there we have some lovely cat brood and the queen. I've just found the queen right there. So she's unmarked. So that means it's actually, so if she's unmarked, it means she's a new queen, I think. That's interesting because, okay, so I've not seen them supersede this queen. They're definitely superseded just because of the vast amount of bees that are here. But I've not seen them do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to transfer her to this and mark her. What we'll do is when I've got her pinned, we can have a better look at her and see if she has actually been marked. It's just been rubbed off. Because that can happen sometimes. Come on. Come on. Right. So it looks like she's never been marked. I can't see any. Usually there's like little smattering of ink around the outside. So if I can show you. So if you look at her there, usually there's like a little smattering around the bottom and the top. But there's nothing like that. So this is a new queen. So why is there a new queen in the colony of an old queen? And why is the colony not like shrunk. So there she is now with a lovely green mark on her. So this means that this colony has superseded the old queen. I'm not sure when they've done that. Put the queen there for now. I'll do a little quick investigation, see if we can find queen cells. If not, I don't know what's happened. Just have to close it up. It seems to be laying well. Just have another quick gander. There's 2 more boxes below. So if I can find a box that's empty, I'll take that off because I don't like them being so tall. This is full of eggs. So they've got 1 brood box, and they've got one brood box of food so far. This is definitely full of brood. Lots of eggs, lots of capped frames. I think she must be a recent queen as well, because this frame is full of eggs and just freshly new larvae. So unless she's just moved up here, keep looking. It's not necessary. I'm just doing this out of interest. Capped frame, capped frame. Yes, this is a box of brood. I'll have a look and see what the other boxes hold. Move these across. Try to put frames back where you found them, in the same place. If you're moving the frames around because you're trying to create more space or something along those lines, then that's fine. But for all other times, just try your best to make all frames go back in the same place as they were. Just saves any issues for the bees. Right. The queen's still there. Hoik! Splot. Right. Let's have a look at this. So this looks relatively empty, actually. Looks like it might have a few frames of food in it. That's empty. The one next to it is foundation. What's the one next to that? I'll be able to condense this colony into 3 boxes. So this is food. This is lots of food. Okay. Yes, these 3 frames here are food. So I don't know what to do. I want to think. You can always have a think. Don't ever rush to do anything. If you don't know what to do, just have a think. Like worst thing that can happen is that the colony swarms, but it's not going to happen at this time of year. So I'm going to have a think. I'm going to have a little think about what I want to do. I'm going to see what's in the bottom box. If the bottom box is empty, I could just move these frames down and then put the other boxes on top. So this box is very light. Very, very light. So we'll have a look and see what's going on down here. I don't think anything's going on down here, personally. This is a big colony, so I think that this is going to need at least 3 boxes. So we've got some brood down here. And what are you? You're empty frames, so what I'm going to do is shake you off. Yeah, so these are just empty frames. Take them away. See if there's any more empty frames here. I'll have to smoke them because they're getting a bit uppity. How are you? I've just found some egg sacs of some sort. No idea what they are. Pollen, brood. Brood, pollen, brood, pollen. Just because I'm unsure what these things are, I've just found some like egg sacs or something. So what I might have to do is I might have to just pause you a second so I can take some good photos. just sent to the NBU because I have no idea what they are. I think what I'll do is I'll probably have a quick look, see if I can figure out what they are on my own. But if I have no idea, I'll get in touch with my beekeeping association first, and then I'll get in touch with the NBU. So I'm going to pause you just for a second so I can do that. Right, sorry about that. I'll probably put those pictures up so you guys can have a quick look, see what else going on about. So, from the looks of it, what I can tell, so it looks like ant eggs, maybe, but look like they've been. It looks like they have been mummified somehow, probably from the bees. Yeah, I think that's quite an interesting kind of event. Right, so what I'm going to do is I've got rid of 3 frames from the 3 frames in here that aren't being used. Shake the bees off them. I'm going to transfer the frames that are being used in here, the 3 food frames, into there, and then I've condensed them down a little bit. So I can transfer these 3 frames now. That's one of food. So you can kind of get a bit over enthusiastic in spring and summer with adding boxes, because the last thing you want to do is restrict the bees in any way and make them want to swarm. But when it comes to winter like this, it's weird going against everything you've been trying to do throughout the year. Come on, away. Off my hand. Come on, there we go. Shake. So I think this colony is doing really well for food. I don't know why I shook that, I didn't need to. They've got a good healthy queen from the looks of it. They've got lots of food and they've got some brood as well. I'm going to leave these guys to it. Doing well. Should be fine. Okay, right, I'm going to smoke these bees back into the box. Because when I put this heavy one on, I don't want anyone to get squished. Come on, watch out. Ah, boy. Oh, ah, nope, nope, not that way. Right, have to go to the other side. Get them from being between the box, because I don't want anyone getting squished. So this is a heavy box, so I'm going to have to be very careful. So I'm going to go on the side where there's no bees. I'm blocking the entrance now, so hopefully the amount of bees flying into it won't increase anymore. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slowly lower this down. So use the hook and get them out from the squishing area if you can. Just hook them out. You're saving their lives, so try your best to not feel too worried about it. You're stopping them from being squished best you can. Okay, and then there we go. Go. Right. Now we have to do the same again here. Now don't worry about the honey. Bees don't mind smoked honey. So yeah, don't worry about that. And don't forget the queen is still outside of the box. Right, so I'm going to release the queen again. Here she is, just for you guys to see. One last time. Where is she? There she is, one last time. And then I'm going to release her. There she goes. Right there. Into the box. So very gentle, try not to get anyone squished. I'm quite fortunate. This place is quite sheltered, so chances of this getting blown over are quite slim. That's good. Right on to the next ones. I saw the bees seem to have found a feeding frenzy somewhere. Not sure where, but okay. So this is the imported queen. Ignore this one. This one is another virgin queen that I have got to wait for to get mated. So, bees have made their way into the top box. So this is the only. Is it the only? I think it is. I think this is the only imported queen I've got left. So that's fun. So this queen's done pretty much nothing all year. It's been a massive waste of time and money and boxes. We'll see if she overwinters. She might be better in a second year. So that is full of brood. That's good. The cappings look healthy. I'm wanting to see some eggs. And we're wanting this to be full of food, which it looks like it is. Looks like they've got quite a fair amount of food, so I might give them a quick heft and just have a quick guess. So I can see eggs, so there's eggs in here. The queen's still present. And there's still a lot of food. They're using the space for making winter bees, so that's good. Yeah, maybe she'll come into her own in a second year, we'll see. So there's eggs in it. It's not fully stocked with eggs, but it's still got eggs in it. Oh, there's the queen. Speak of the devil, there she is. With a bright green dot. Milling about. Yeah, so she's still okay. They've got food. This outer frame is full of food, so yeah, I'm just going to close them up. I don't think these guys need any extra food. I'm just going to give them a quick heft now and just see. Might need a little bit of food. We'll see. Right. Because I know the queen's in there, I want to tap the bees out, and because they've got through this gap here. For some reason, they've knocked the glass off, or I've knocked it off somehow, and they've managed to get into the roof. So, because I know where the queen is, I'm just going to knock the bees back in and get rid of that brace comb. So the issue with these maze mall nukes is that the recess in here is really useful. It's got a good recess if you use an appy guard and stuff like that. It means that they've got a lot of space. Or putting food in, you know, like dry food, fondant, when it's winter. But the negative of it is that they like to draw out a brace comb. There's no tomorrow in it. So that's the problem with it. To stop that, just put one of the feeders on that the nukes come with, and yeah, should be fine. Okay. Right, next ones. So this nuke here was from my original queen rearing. I don't know if you remember it, but I originally had 2 queens in here because I had 2 excess queens I didn't know what to do with, so I just thought, right, got to be a honey nuke. I'm just going to throw 2 queens in. Now one side didn't make it, whereas the other side did. And that queen came out and she looked like an absolute beast. Now, I've had issues with it because they keep producing brace comb in the lid. Makes it really difficult to find the queen, and they've done exactly that as well. So just judging from that, I can see that they've got enough food. I don't need to feed them in winter because that is full of food there. And I think the only reason that they're in there is because the brood frames seem to be quite full as well. Don't want to get in your way. Less chance of me getting in your way, I hope. So I'll have a quick look, see if there's eggs. I've not actually sold this queen this year because I just couldn't bloody find her because of all the bloody brace comb. So I'd cut the brace comb down and then I'd just create more. Anyway, I'm going to just see if there's eggs. I know she's a good queen. Is she still there? Loads of brood. And can I see any eggs? Can't see any eggs yet. Still can't see any eggs. So I'm just going to put you to the side here. Let's change these gloves as well. Get off. I can see eggs, so there's loads of eggs on this one. Yeah, so she's using what she's got to produce winter bees. Go on, let's have a look in the middle one. She is... Oh, her bees are outstanding. Like this, I cleared this like a week ago, and you've seen how much bloody honey they've got already. It's mad. So this queen's doing really well. Yes, this is really laid up completely. These bees are doing great. Got loads of food. I don't have to worry about that. So I'm just going to close them up. And I probably won't open them up again until spring. They're doing great. The brood looks really healthy. The larvae look really healthy as well. All I can do is cause damage, I think. So I'm just going to leave them to it. They're doing great. I'll deal with the brace comb in spring. If I can. Has it been flipped? Maybe I flipped it back. There you go, but yeah, they're doing great. I'm not going to get in their way. Yeah, so that's amazing. Next one. So each one of these now had a queen put in on the 20th. And now I just have to wait for them to all come out and get mated. So there's no point in checking these guys. There's definitely something going on around here. The air's filled with like robbing bees, and I don't know why. I'll check these guys out first. Found a hive tool from last time I inspected here, so I'm just going to put that to the side. Right, so. So this colony is on 3 boxes, which I'm not too happy about. But I think they are filling them. So I don't really want to shake them down if they are filling them. Now this was the one that I thought I saw EFB in, but after that I couldn't find it anymore. So I thought I'd found EFB, I did a test, it was inconclusive, and then when I came back to do another test just to check, I couldn't find any signs of it anywhere. So looking at it now, there seems to be a cluster around the middle 6 frames. Let's see what these middle boxes are doing. Oh, that top box is very heavy. Right, I don't think they're actually doing anything with these boxes, looking at it. There are bees in them, but I don't think they're actually doing anything. So if they're not doing anything, I'll shake them out and move them on. There's no food. They have drawn out this foundation, but that's all they've done, is they've just drawn it out. So this box will be shaken out. Just move it to the side for now. And what about this box? They are not touching this box. It is filthy, so they don't want to have anything to do with it. They've started in the middle. Alright, that can be shaken out as well. Cool, that's what I wanted to see. I want to make sure I can shake the bees down. And this colony is actually quite full. So sometimes if you're doing bees the warm way, so if there's the entrance, the warm way is putting them perpendicular to the bees. The cold way is putting them the same direction as the bees, like that. If you can see that. Let's look. So if you put them the warm way, for a lot of cases, the bees won't touch the first 2 frames, or they only do if it's absolutely necessary. So if there's no bees there, don't worry too much. It's just the way they're being. I'm just going to shake them out these 2 small boxes here. Shrink them down. You can go into the cupboard. Right. He's back in. Oh, so from the top box I know that they've got some food because that was really heavy. Going to have a quick look now, see if we can find some brood. So because it's the warm way, the brood area will be a lot further back than in a lot of other hives. A lot of other hives will focus it in the centre. With warm way hives like this one, they will bring it right near the back. So I'm seeing a lot of pollen. I'm not seeing a lot of eggs. The light here has diminished, so it's very hard to see in this light. So I can't see any eggs yet, so that's not good. This one. I'm not seeing any brood either. So my hope is that the bees are in the top box. Otherwise, this is a queenless colony from the looks of it. Right. Right, put this box on. So there was 2 half brood boxes that I've just taken off. They could have been acting, because the bees weren't using, that could have been acting like a divider between the queen and the rest of the colony. So if that's the case, then there should be brood in this top box. So this is full of honey. I can feel that already. Jeez, it's heavy. Oh, this has also got honey, and it's got loads of brood in it, so loads of larvae. Oh, it's heavy on my thumbs, that. Ouch. So it's full of larvae in the middle, right in the centre there. And I'm just having a look, seeing if there's any dangerous looking ones again. Because this time of year is when a lot of brood diseases start to become apparent, because they start to get stressed. Just because of the lower count of workers to get rid of any diseases, they can start to get a bit stressed and start to show signs of disease that they hadn't shown before. So found eggs, lots of eggs. Let's see if you can see it. Oh, and she's there. Found the queen. She's right here. She is last year's queen. She's got the red paint on. I'll show you what I meant before when I said that you can usually see signs of paint on them. She's getting a bit doddery now. That's fine. Come here, mill girl. So she'll be 2 years old next year. Probably one of the oldest bees I've had, if she manages to make it through to the next winter. Right. It's not a great way of doing it. Well, I'll show you. So if you see around the back of her abdomen there's like a little piece of paint there. That shows that she was painted and the bees have licked it off. But she's fine. Right, I want to try and mark her with silver if I can. If not, then it doesn't matter. So I want to mark her silver because she's an old bird. And there she is. Marked silver. So she's a good queen, this one. She didn't throw up any queen cells this year. She was very productive. She made me lots of bees. So yeah, I'm quite happy with her. So in she goes. Happy's Larry. Right, bees, watch out. I'm going to close this one up. These guys have got loads of food. They've got a queen. She seems healthy. She's a little bit old, but that's nothing to worry about. Yeah, these guys are fine. Right then. Next one. Oh, so there's lots of bees in the crown board, so that means that they could be running out of space, but that's fine. It's okay for them to cluster at this time of year. So I didn't actually take a lot of bees off this queen this year. She always seemed that little bit too weak to do that too. And now it's come to winter, she's full of bees. Sod below that, isn't it? Right, we'll just have a look in the top box as soon as that queen is in the top box. We'll see what they're like. I can already see that this has got loads of honey. Look at that. Beautiful frame there. Wow. So, if this top box is full of honey, that means that the bottom box will be where the brood area is. Let's check the center frames. There we are. So I found some brood. Some eggs. No eggs there. Not worried yet though. The bees could be pushing the queen downwards, so when the bees start to get too much honey in, they start to push the queen down. Fortunately, they do it from the outside towards the middle, so that's why you end up with frames like that, where you've got brood in the middle and honey along the edges. Yeah, so I can see eggs. There's eggs in this one. That's good. There's plenty of food. I don't think I'll need to feed these guys if they fill this brood box. So yeah, that's saving me a bit of money. Good. Let's close these guys up. But yeah, these guys have done all right. Done well. I'm amazed by that frame of honey though. That's beautiful looking honey. Look at that. It's a shame. It's too late to harvest now. Anything that these bees collect goes straight back to the bees. I'm not taking anything from them now. They've done their job throughout the year. This time is their time to do what they want to do and relax. Get the honey that they want. And get ready and strong for winter. So these two colonies are... This is a swarm. This was the first swarm of the year, I think. Oh no, it wasn't. This is the swarm that took over some empty equipment that I had. So these guys have just been here all year and they've just enjoyed themselves and just grown and grown and grown. I've just left them to it because I couldn't be dealing with them really. I've checked them for disease and there was nothing there. And this is my breeder queen. So this queen has sired this year's queens. And she's done a really good job of it as well. Right, so I'm not quite sure why this box has a queen excluder underneath. I'm not going to take any more honey off my bees. I've cleaned the clean room now. I'm not going to dirty it up again. It's full of honey, so I can already feel the weight of that. So that's that. So if I can get rid of one of these other brood boxes, then I'll put that one on top. Oh, here is queen excluder. Don't need this time of year. Right. So looking at it, I don't think they're using this box very well. Or maybe they are. I think this queen has filled 2 brood boxes full of honey. Oh yeah, that's lots of honey and loads of brood. So it may just be that these guys just have twice as much food as they need. I'm gonna put it past her. This queen was incredible last season, so I'm not surprised that she's filled a brood box with food, a brood box with brood, and a brood box with brood and food. Well, that's what she looks like. Well, that's what the frames look like. They look incredible like that. I'm going to leave her to it. I don't think she needs feeding either, so I'm just going to leave her. I'm probably going to treat her with Formic Pro, just because these guys haven't had a treatment since last year. But other than that, I think that these guys are fine. The brood looks really healthy, the larvae look really healthy, and she's got 2 brood boxes full of food, so yeah, this is... Oh, she's done an amazing job, this queen. Oh. Just leave to the queen excluder off. Oh. And then whatever's left next year, I can spread out between my nukes. Right, let's go into that one. Right, so. So this, for a swarm, has done really strangely, actually. So it wasn't really doing a right lot for months and months and months. And then I started shaking up colonies into it to try and boost it a little bit, because I was a bit worried about it. And now, it's doing really well. So I wonder if they just needed that extra bit of help from other colonies. Look at that. That's stunning honey. Beautiful cappings. That's going to do them well. So I'm going to leave that on. Ugh. So I'd say this super is virtually full. Let's have a look at what they've got in here. If this brood box is virtually full as well, then these guys won't need feeding. This isn't a brood box, this is another super. This is full of honey as well. So that's 2 full of honey. Now the question is, can we find any brood? I've seen the honey. Need to make sure that there's actually bees going to be surviving. So the brood box is probably where they're keeping the brood now. This is very stuck down. It's heavy. So that's 2 supers full of honey there. I did take a super off them as well, I think. So they've done that recently. So I can already see capped brood there from the cappings, but we'll have a look, see. Why not? See what's going on. Watch out the way. And yeah, so we've got lovely cappings, nice and sorry, I thought I saw the queen then. Nice and tan, so they've got a digestive biscuit sort of colour. Now, what I have noticed is that there is a cell here with a hole in it. I'm just going to check to see if I can see the queen, because I'm sure I saw her then, but maybe wrong. There's lots of eggs on this other side anyway, so I'm just going to check these out and just show you what I mean. So, when you get cells like that, right there, where there's a hole in the cell capping, that's generally a sign that there has been some varroa problems going on. Looking at the other larvae, so if you look at the larvae, there you are, they're looking absolutely beautiful, lovely and shiny, segmented, C-shape, beautiful. You've got some eggs here somewhere, I don't know if you can see it actually, but yeah, so they're doing alright, but I think they do have a bit of varroa problem, because I've just found a few more. So we've got some here, 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 and there's one over there. Yeah, so I think we've got some varroa problems in this colony, so these guys will definitely need to be treated with Formic Pro. But I've seen eggs, I've seen brood, and I've seen lots of food. So these guys are going to be fine for winter, and I won't need to feed them. So that's good. Last thing I want to do is feed bees. Not because it costs money and stuff like that. It's just you want your bees to be self-sufficient, really, and also it means that you know that you haven't taken too much honey off them if you don't have to feed them as well. Right, there we are. Right, so when I do Formic Pro these guys definitely, but I don't need to feed them, so that's good. So pretty much everyone in here, everyone in this apiary doesn't really need to be fed, so that's going to save me a bit of money. Right, on to the next apiary as quick as I can. Just realised I forgot to turn my mic on, so if you could hear me, amazing. So what I've just found out is that they're not using this box here. They're barely filling this bottom brood box at the moment, which is upsetting. So I'm going to shake all the bees out of there into there and take this box away, because they're not using it. Don't need the space. Don't need to give them the space. Last thing we want them to do is have more space than they need. I know why I gave it them, because the middle frames have a bit of honey in, but as I'm going to be moving these bees in the next week or so, I don't really want them to have that many boxes on if I can help it. Let's move this smoker away. Right, so let's not beat around the bush. If there's going to be brood, it's going to be in the centre frames. So let's have a look around the centre. I'm not a fan of these crowbar style hive tools. Definitely have a preference for the J tools. Right, let's have a look. Go away. So that's full of nectar. Okay, so I'm just going to put this to the side here, out of the way. I think that this colony's not going to make it, personally. Certainly grumpy, which is really annoying because originally this was one of the imported queens that was doing amazing, and now it's just a shell of what it was. Smoked out. Nectar again. I'm just keeping my eye open in case I can see the queen. Now, I'm not too worried right now because I think it was 2 weeks ago that I put the queen cell in. Go away. Why are you trying to sting me? Go away. Go away. Remember, smoke yourself, not bees. Impossible to get all the bees flying around. You are a stationary target, so you're much easier to smoke than bees. Ugh. Problem is, you get smoked. Yeah, so lots of nectar. So the virgin queen could have emerged, and she's just now in a state of trying to find a time where it's not raining to get mated. Because we've had our summer in the UK. It lasted a week. It was glorious for a week, and then it's just been utter crap since. Right, so this frame here is the one that had the queen cell on it. So we'll see how it's gone. So we've still got some sealed queen cells here. So I think what's happened is the queen cell that I put in, they weren't happy with, and they've produced more queens out of the queen cells, or out of the larvae that were on this frame. Huh. Okay. Right, so time to knock down queen cells. Let's have a look at them. Remember, if you're going to knock bees, knock them with your fingernails. So we've got 2 on that side, and we've got a few more on this side, actually, quite a lot. Let's see what we can do. I'm just going to knock these off. Oh, there's one there that you wouldn't have seen. Okay, so got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to choose from. So the ones on this side look small and piddly. That one does anyway. That one looks alright, actually. Let's have a look, how far along are they? So that looks like they're very close to being done. So we have to choose wisely. So I quite like the look of that one. In fact, I want to bring this a bit closer so we can make a decision together. So I quite like this one. It looks nice and healthy. It's a good shape. It's on the sides, so it's hard to get knocked. These are quite close to each other and are... they seem to be off at a jaunty angle. You can't really see that very well. This one especially. So I'm going to get rid of this one. And what we'll do is we'll just have a look. So you can see in there that the queen is almost made, because that's the rear end. She needs to get some colour on her next before she is released. This cell here is small and piddly. I get rid of that one. Gone. So we've got these 4 on this one on this side here. So I'm going to get rid of this one. I think I've made a decision that I want to keep the one right on the corner, right on the edge here. So I'm going to get rid of these ones. And yeah, all of these queens are in the exact same place. Yep, see? That's the rear end. Yep, so that's one queen cell, and we're just going to close it. And I'm not going to look at it for a few weeks. Now, there is quite a lot of nectar, which is good, but there isn't a lot of honey. So I reckon that this colony will definitely need feeding. Get off, you little bugger. Okay. So, we knocked it down to 1 brood box. Should be easier to move then. Now, because that's a queen cell, and it's probably still got a little bit longer before it's going to emerge, probably a few days. Probably this week coming, I might have to do the transfer across. Because what I don't want is for the queen to emerge, get orientated to this spot, and then we move the hive to another area, and the queen has to reorientate because they don't reorientate very well. So yeah, I think I might have to do that this week. I might have to try and move these colonies this week. I don't know if you remember me saying this last week, but I'm moving this apiary to my queen rearing apiary just for winter, and then I'm going to be welcoming them to a new home in this place. Landowners are giving me a new apiary because they want to use this area for some construction work that they're doing. But they're going to build me a brand new apiary, and it's going to be awesome. I can't wait. Right, next one. This is 2 brood boxes and a super. I'm not happy with that super, so hopefully either the super's not being used or the brood box, or one of the brood boxes isn't going to be used. Because I need to cut this down to 2 boxes only. I can deal with 2 brood boxes and a roof and the floor in my car. That's fine, but 3 boxes is just too much. So I'm just going to have a quick look. It looks like they're not using this, to be fair. And if not using it, I'm going to take it away. There's some bees in it, but not a lot. I think I just left it on to give them something to clean, and they have cleaned it, to be fair. Yeah, taking this off. They don't need it. I'm going to shake them out. Let's get rid of the queen excluder. Do not need you anymore. So we're down to 2 boxes. That's great. That's what we want. So where's my hive tool? There. Move it down. Start with the bottom one if you can. So that is a strong colony. That's looking great. Just going to blow them down. Now, if I'm right in thinking, I can't remember if this has got the... this is why you need notes, guys. Can't remember if this is the last in this apiary. Last. You flipper. How'd you get me? There you are. Ouch. So I'm not sure if this is actually the imported queen, last imported queen in this place, or if she's tried to swarm. I vaguely remember them trying to swarm, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyway, we'll have a look. It'll become apparent if we find it, because the imported queens are actually quite well marked. Oh, and there she is straight away. Yes, this is the imported queen, straight off. See it? Bright green. This one's doing really well. Brood all the way out here. That's impressive. The final, the outside frames usually get ignored. Those two frames seem to be getting ignored. So what I might do is have a quick look, see what the brood is like. Now, these imported queens, the bees, have been quite grumpy. I don't know if that's just the ones I've got or the ones that this guy sells in general. That is a massive queen cell. It's not even a queen cell. They made a queen cup out of wax and they just keep building around it. It looks ridiculous. It looks like a golf ball. So remove it and show you. Wow. Flattened it now, but that big wodge of wax was a queen cup. That can go in the bucket later. Right, so we've seen the queen, so I'm not too worried about that. Seen some brood, lovely larvae, he says. Move. Little larvae's okay. Non-twisted or anything like that. I thought there was one twisted, but it wasn't. It's okay. So the queen is on this frame here, the outside frame. So I want to have a look at these ones here. So we can give her some more space to lay in, because they're not using this at all. So I want to move these frames into the center. Tell you what, they're good with the propolis, these guys. Which is mad because they're fit sized as low propolis. Oh dear me. Was anything that guy told me true? That's what I want to know. So really need to beware of sellers, guys. Really need to be aware of them. I can just tell you anything. Especially when it comes to bees. Because you never know what your queens are going to be like. That's why I always wait for a few weeks just to make sure that I know what the queens are like. If they're particularly aggressive or anything, I don't give them to anyone because I don't want them to get stung. But look at these, they're all over my arm. See if I can blow them down again. I'll put this box on top. So we're fine for brood. That's fine. We've got a good, we've got a queen that's laying like a trooper. This box felt kind of heavy. Don't feel as heavy as the other ones at the mating apiary, but we'll have a quick look. So we've got brood in here. These guys definitely need a varroa treatment because there's some holes in the cells. But we've got some food. Not a huge amount of food, but they have got some food. So these guys will need feeding before winter, but they're doing fine for now. Leave them to it. Alright, so this was a queen cell last time. For some reason this colony just keeps killing its queen, and I'm not sure why. I'll have a look, see what it's like. It was on 3 brood boxes with the last queen, but then now it's just dropped. There's an X there, so that means that there will be a green dot somewhere else. So there will have been a queen cell somewhere. I'm going to check there in a minute. This box is not full at all. Unused frame. I'm unsure this colony will make it through winter. I'll have a look if there's a queen in there, see what the queen's like, and if the queen is no good, or if there is no queen after the move, then I will just combine this with another colony and boost that one. So some brood here. It's older brood though. Oh, I can see an egg. Just seen an egg. Oh. There must be a queen in here. Because I am seeing eggs. And there is brood there. And it is worker brood. It's not a vast amount of worker brood, as you can see. But it's okay. Keep an eye out for the queen. It's quite a low number of bees in this colony, so chances are I'll be able to find out. Ooh, this frame needs to go in the bin. So if you find a frame and it's wibbly wobbly like that, it's because the bees have eaten the sides here. So the only thing that's holding this wax into this frame is the tentative wires here and a bit of wax. So when you're dealing with frames like this, hold on to the side like that. It's a bit awkward, but it's a way of being able to do the job that you need to do without the wax snapping and falling out, which is very annoying. So I can't see the queen. You can see little larvae. Larvae don't look too good. I don't mean that they don't look too good because they're ill, they just don't look like they've got a lot of food in them. So, and this is a mix of worker and drone. Yeah. I don't think this queen's very good. Don't think she's done a very good job, and the bees don't think so either because they made another queen cell here. Unfortunately, this queen cell is not going to work out very well. So if you look there, it's one of those really awkward cells where they've produced a queen cell. You can see the one next to it that it should look like, but the larvae must have dropped a bit, so they've just created the cell around it again. Those cells do not work ever. So just not going down. This is a sign of supersedure. Because these are the only 2 cells that I've seen in the whole of this frame, and most of the box so far. I'm going to keep looking, but there's very few queen cells. So to me, that points that the bees want to supersede this queen. And the reason is because if you look there, there's a mixture of brood and worker cells there, which is really not good. Also, if you look there, there are a few double eggs in those cells. So this queen isn't particularly good. She's come back, she's been mated, but my guess is that the larvae that they produced the queen from wasn't particularly good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep her going, just for now. I'm going to see if I can find her. If I can find her on marker, I'll keep her going just for now. So what I'll do is I will see her off and then combine this with another colony. At this point in the year, if you have a weak hive or a weak colony like this and the queen's no good, don't bother trying to replace the queen. There's no point in it. All that'll happen is the queen will go out, she'll have a reduced number of drones to get mated. Chances are she'll become drone layer in winter, and it'll just ruin your comb. Whereas if you see off the queen and combine her with another colony, the bees that are in that colony and the brood that is in there will combine with that colony and bolster it. So it'll actually make the chances of that colony coming through winter much better. So I can't find the queen yet. If I do find it, I'm going to mark her, so she's easier to find. And then that's what I'll do, I'll see her off when I move places. But yeah, these bees are not happy with her at all. I found a few more queen cells now. There's one here actually capped. Okay, I can't find the queen. I'm not too worried. I'm probably, what I'm going to do at the other apiary is probably just shake these guys out in front of another hive. What will happen is, as they walk up the path, the bees at the hive that I've shaken them out at will go on to alert, and they'll only let good workers through. Any that seem to be diseased, or any that, or if the queen tries to get in, they'll see her off themselves. It's a good way of combining hives without getting too many, laying workers and stuff like that inside a colony. Shake them out in front of another hive, they'll get rid of any laying workers. Right, on to the next one. I'm going to be quick with these ones. So this one, I think, was a virgin queen last time I came in, like 2 weeks ago. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a quick look. So these guys are thriving from the looks of it already. Get a better view when we open it up. These guys are doing alright. I don't know what they're like food-wise, but you can see some cappings of honey, like 3 or 4 frames, so that's good. Lift this off. Oh, look what's underneath. So, smoke these guys down a little bit. Because I'm interested in seeing if I can find the queen, if there is one. I'm not pushing too much smoke down there. I'm just doing a little basic puffed. Something positive of moving out of this apiary is that I won't be attacked by random trees. So I can't wait for that. Right, oh, there we go. So look, that's nectar, that's fine. It's an outside frame. Let's move a bit further in. That's right. Eggs, lots of eggs. Perfect, that's what we want to see. Lots and lots of eggs. Now, I don't know if this queen has been here very long, so I'll be amazed if I see some larvae and capped cells. I want to see some larvae, because then I can tell whether or not they're healthy brood or not. If I see her, I'm going to mark her, but this is a positive anyway. We've got some eggs. That's more than that one over there, or those 2 over there actually. So we've got some cap brood here. Interspersed with honey. Yeah, so these are dark cappings. Don't worry too much about them. It's not always a sign that something's gone wrong. Sometimes they're using the wax around them that's particularly dirty. That cell there that I've just uncovered is perfectly fine. So see if you can see it. Where's it gone? There it is. So where the bees are hounding now. That's perfectly fine. There's a larvae in there. It's almost about to merge. So the darkness of your worker cells is an indicator that something is wrong. It doesn't mean that something is wrong. It's not a definitive. So if you see cells like that, don't worry straight away. Just go, okay, that's a bit weird. What you want to be looking for is if the cells are wet. So if the cappings are wet looking, like someone's been soaking them, then you should worry a little bit more. But if it's dark, then just uncap it and just have a look, see what's underneath. If you see a larvae and it looks perfectly fine, then just leave it to it. Seems fine. It can just be that the wax is particularly dirty, that they've used from around the place, or it could be that it's just been stained from bees walking up and down it all the time. Anyway, I found some bees, found some eggs, I found some larvae, and I found some capped brood. So that looks like it's a healthy queen. It's annoying that I can't find her, but that's fine. Let's deal with it. And then we're just going to push you down. And we'll have a look in the top box for food. I've seen some food already, but I just want to see how much food they've got. Because what I want is, I want the top brood box to be absolutely full of food. So we'll have a look. This time of year is wasp season, by the way, so just keep an eye out. The wasps are now going to start causing trouble for your hives. If you have any particularly weak hives, reduce their entrances straight away, like to maybe like 1 or 2 bee space, because you do not want wasps getting away in. So it's full of honey, that's good. This next one's full of brood. That's cool. Queen's done a good job there. Full of eggs well on the outside. It's good. See if I can see, she might have moved. Oh, but there's food all the way around, so these guys do not need feeding right now, so that's good. They may need feeding later on, but for now they're doing well. Right. Ooh, just having a look. I always get nosy when I find an interesting hive. Okay, yeah, I think that healthy. Seem to be happy. Actually attacking me right now. They've got lots of food and lots of brood, lots of winter bees being made, so that's good. So this queen is queen right, so that's good. I'm gonna lock these up. So one point to note this time of year is that you can probably do more harm than good in a lot of cases by going through your hives. Do a cursory glance like I'm doing. Check for disease, make sure you've got brood and food. You don't particularly need that much space anymore because they're not going to swarm at this time of year really. But you need to be really careful that you don't kill the queen, because as I said, any queens that are produced this year, they'll be fine, but if you goof at the end of this month and it's like October, there's no chance that you're going to get a well-mated queen in October. Well, there's a slight chance, but it's not a good enough chance as far as I'm concerned. So you want to be as careful as possible for these bees, because if you kill that queen or introduce disease as well by accident, then you're going to cause trouble for the colony, and it means it probably won't survive winter. And there's nothing worse than knowing that you're the reason why a colony's died out. Oh, definitely do feel like a terrible beekeeper. Right, next one. Right, so this one is going to be my new breeder queen. She's done really well. She did swarm, which I wasn't happy about, but it's because she was just filling herself up so much with bees and I wasn't keeping on top of her. But this colony is doing great. Little jump. Off they go. Okay, so check the bottom box first. Ugh. Last thing I want to do is hurt this queen, so lift this one up. Oh, this one's really heavy, so this queen will not need feeding. This colony is so strong. She's been going into the year through leaps and bounds. Like I took her off, and I took her off with maybe like 4 frames. Can't remember off the top of my head, but didn't take her off with a lot of bees. And now she's filling this. I got 2 boxes of honey off her, I think. She's amazing. So let's have a look. Yeah, full of larvae, eggs. Brilliant. Cappings look good. Beautiful, and I can already see that there's food at the top as well. So that's the sort of frame that you want to see at this time of year. You want to see lots of eggs, lots of brood, and you want to see lots of food in the cappings. So let's have a look. Food in the top. So let's have a look. See what else we've got. Might be able to see your girl. Yeah, so this is full of larvae, healthy larvae as well. C-shaped, segmented, pearly white. Loads of food underneath. It looks beautiful. Oh, this queen's doing great. Yeah, I've seen what I wanted to see. She's doing great. Okay. Right, let's go into the top box and see what food we've got. So when it comes to a very full box like this, instead of pushing down with a frame, put it in its right place and then let it drop until it gets to this point. It's going to struggle with the lugs, but it'll slowly move its way down because the resistance of the bees against other bees will stop it from just going for bump, and it'll slide down very, very gentle. But that's really cool. She's doing amazing. Oh, my new favourite, I think. I had someone ask, "Oh, what happens to a breeder queen when you move on to a new breeder queen?" The answer to that is that I don't kill her. I turn her into one of the queens that just produces bees for the nukes. So she gets to live out the rest of her days chilling out and doing what she wants to do. You've seen this year, I don't particularly take any honey from the colonies at the mating apiary. So she gets to produce bees, which is what she wants to do. She doesn't get swarmy or anything like that because I'm constantly taking brood away and bees away. She's constantly getting free cells to lay in. Yeah, so she lives in the lap of luxury. Cool. So I'm seeing a lot of food around the outside of brood that's here. Now this queen is laying up like a trooper. So that's pretty cool. But they're also filling the top side here with honey, which is pretty cool. They're doing a good job. Right, I think that's enough of this one. I'm happy with them. I'm going to wait until I take them across to the other apiary before I treat them for varroa. I think this colony is doing alright with varroa, really. I took a frame off not long ago and did a varroa check on it. And there wasn't any varroa out of 100 cells, which is pretty good. Right. So as far as I'm concerned, this colony is just wanting to die. I keep giving them fresh queens and they keep killing them. I keep giving them queen cells. Again, they keep killing them. I don't understand what the problem is with these guys. I've gone through, checking for virgin queens. There's no virgin queens. I even did a shaker box at one point. I don't know if I'll show that video. It didn't go too well. But they've got lots of food, so these guys are getting food in. Are you getting brood in? So look. I kind of just left them to it in the end because they killed off the queen. They were making queen cells again, so I was like, right, sod it. I'll just leave you to it. Let you do what you want to do. So they're going into winter with foundation, which is not recommended. But these guys are not drawing it out. Hey. So there's lots of food. No eggs yet. So I think this frame here, not this one that Mo lifting up now, but the one next to it was the one that had a queen cell on it. So if she's going to be laying on anything, she'll be laying on there. So this is why I need my torch. Can't see any eggs. Nope, nothing. So the queen that emerged from the queen cell, well, the queen cell that they made has definitely emerged. So there's definitely a virgin queen running around in here. Not quite sure where. I know she's emerged, so a quick look, make sure she's not on here. Last thing I want to do is lose her in the grass. So I know she's emerged because the queen cell there has a hole in the bottom rather than in the side. I've shown it before in another video that if you get holes in the side, it means that the queen's been killed and they've been torn down. So that means that the queen has emerged. So there is a virgin queen in here somewhere. She has this month to get mated, or else this colony is doomed. So I'm just going to close it up. I can't do anything else with it. They've got food, so I don't need to worry about that right now. So I'm just going to leave them to it. Do not think that they will need 2 brood boxes, but I want to keep them on it because if there's a virgin queen running around, I don't want to change what she's looking for. Not sure if you remember this one, but this was the biggest colony that I had out of all of my apiaries. I got a ridiculous amount of honey off them. As you can see, they're still producing a lot of honey and wax. So that's a bit annoying. I'm going to have to knock that down. Chances are I probably won't need to feed these guys if they're like this. It's the majority of the bees off. Have a look. So if you just check the cells for eggs, it's a quick way of finding out if you've got a laying queen in there. I hope there is a laying queen in here because this queen was awesome. Probably on par with that one over there. Maybe even better, but yeah. Anyway, so that's good. So these guys are absolutely jam-packed in this box. Filling both sides of the crown board. So let's have a quick gander. So if I remember rightly, I put this on, it was just foundation because I wanted to give them something to do, and from what I can see, it's all drawn out. Jeez, and full of honey. Wow, that is gorgeous honey. Oh, I can smell that. It's amazing. Beautiful. So I'm going to have to hurry up because it's starting to rain. Oh, right, so this weighs an absolute ton. I can already feel how freaking heavy it is. Flipping heck. Oh. Wow. Right, let's see if we can find the brood area quick before it starts peeing it down. So I think this colony is pretty much set for winter. So there's lots of lovely brood cappings, so worker cappings. So that's a lot of worker brood coming through, ready for winter. I need to see some eggs though, so careful. There's a lot of drones in here, so they've not got to the stage yet where they're throwing the drones out. That is when the bees have decided that it's definitely winter time. Strong colonies leave it till later before they start kicking out the drones. I'm so stuck down. Right, please some eggs. Good luck for the queen, that'd be cool. Not seen any eggs yet. Come on, girlie, don't have disappeared on me now. Ah, the rain is starting to come in now. That's annoying. Oi. Oh, there's some eggs. Oh, thank God. Right, I've seen some eggs. Lots of eggs. Yeah, this whole frame's laid up. Oh, thank God. Oh, so worried I lost her then. Jeez. Right, put it back. Close it up. She's doing amazing. She's a queen. Ugh. Okay, right. This one came from this hole here. Ha ha ha. Come on. I'm getting rain down the back of my neck. It's not very nice. Right, so I'm in trouble because they've gone all along the edges here. So I wanted to try and smoke them down, but I think the smoke is dying, so this could be bad. Come on, out you go. Out of the way. Come on. I'm not too worried if I flick him in the front because I've got a little path for him to follow up. Oh my God! Oh. Oh wow, that is heavy. Wow. These guys will not need any food whatsoever for winter. They are set. As far as I'm concerned, I'm going to give them varroa treatments, and then these guys are going to be shut up for winter. So I'll probably put some fondant on them at some point during the winter if they have to light. But these guys are sorted for winter now. They're so heavy, ridiculously heavy. I'm unsure where this one's up to be honest. If I remember rightly, I checked it last time and it was queen right, but I can't remember off the top of my head, so we'll have to see. Certainly strong enough to be queen right. Will not miss brambles when I get a new place. Right, so look, are they using this? Yeah, so they're using that full of honey. That's good. So I want that to be as full as possible with honey. That'll be the winter food. And it saves me money, which is good. It's not particularly full though. I could lift that quite easily compared to the other ones. So, yeah, show a quick look at this. So what we're looking for is just some eggs, and just have to have a quick gander at the brood. What we don't want is them to be queenless right now. Ooh, gentle. So the full. Right, I'm seeing lots of capped worker brood. It's quite dark again, but again, as I said before, don't worry about the darkness if they seem dry, and they do appear dry. Just seeing if I can see eggs. The pattern isn't amazing, but it could be that they're just fighting against the honey. There's definitely fresh larvae and some eggs there. Okay. Right, because it's raining, I need to hurry up with this. These guys have got quite a lot of food, so I'm not worrying about them yet. I'd prefer if the super was full, but the brood box has got quite a lot of food in it, so I just need to brush the bees in. Go on, watch out the way. Go on, out the way. There we go. Right. Okay. So I've some food and some brood. I'm not worrying about these guys anymore. I'm not hefted them yet. I'll heft them when they get to the new apiary and worry about the food then. But they've got enough to get them by until then, so that's what's important. So these were originally imported queens and they died off. Then I let them produce their own queens again. And then pretty much I've just left them to it for the whole season. They've been a bit of a wasted spot, but if they can go through winter strong and come out the other end strong, and then hopefully they can produce me some honey next year. So I can already see quite a bit of honey. So I'm not too worried about food right now. Let's take this out. Oh. So I've got some drone brood there. That's fine, you're allowed drone brood. I do want to see some worker brood though. Now these queens were mated at the best time of the year to get mated. There's lots and lots of larvae and eggs here. Yeah, this queen is laying up like a trooper on this side as well. Yeah. Wow. Right, so this time of year, when they're slowing down, you don't tend to get full frames of brood. But that's pretty good. She's doing well on that side as well. Yeah, so this queen's doing great. Okay, let's have a look. So I've got some hatching workers on this frame. Yeah. Okay, so this top box is full of brood. I'm not sure how full of food it is. So it is running low on food. I've just hefted it then, and it didn't feel particularly heavy at all. So there could be in a bit of trouble if they don't get some food put on them at some point soon. I have some honey from the extraction process that I can't give to you guys just because it was from cappings, the honey from the cappings. I don't tend to give that to you guys. I tend to give it back to the bees because usually it's the last bit of the cappings when I'm scraping them into the bucket, and it's just the last remnants of honey that have strained out, but usually it's strained into a dirty bucket, so I don't like to give it to you guys anyway. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to mix it up and give it back to the bees so they can take it back as their own. Right. Oh, I'll do that another time. That'll be another how-to video for a Sunday at some point. These guys are doing great. They just need a bit of food. I'll probably have to provide that to them soon. Right, last one here. I'm going home because it is actually raining now. So this hive stand has seen better days. It's leaning a bit too much to the back now, which I'm not too happy about. I don't want these guys toppling over. I can already tell these guys are fine. Boing. So a quick look. So these guys actually seem to have more honey than the next door. Just looking down. Yeah, so we've got a lovely mix of honey at the top, eggs in the middle, and brood around the outside. Yeah, it looks... Oh, and there's the queen. Found the queen as well. Perfect. I love to finish a day finding a queen. She's just in a very annoying spot, and her green dot has rubbed off. That's annoying. So there's Queenie. Lovely colours. But the green dot has come off, so I'm going to remark her. Come. These bees are doing great. Full frames of honey and brood. The queen is up here, laying around like a trooper. I'm pretty happy with these guys. I could probably do with feeding them again, but I'm not too worried about that right now. Right, so she's immobilized. Let's give her the green dot of justice. There we go. Nice, love the green dot. Right, I'll leave that doing that while I say goodbye. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd love it if you could hit the like button. If you want to see more content like this, then please hit the subscribe button. If you just want to see smaller versions or like little snippets of these long version videos, then There are shorter versions released at the same time as this. Go to my profile, you'll be able to see them. If you hit playlists, I have a weekly vlog playlist, and they'll have the same date, but much shorter, much more condensed. I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye bye.